Hello, and welcome to the RealRam fam. On my channel, I intend to provide you with a safe platform to discuss the intersections of your entire being, to be able to be comfortable in your own skin, in mission, or position. There is no one like you, and we all have a purpose and message. I, for one, am a black woman, mother of four, a military veteran, and a wife, and a social worker, just to name a few. From my channel, I hope that you learn more about military families and social workers. Three of the social work values are my aim in each video: importance of human relationships, dignity and worth of the person, and social justice. No matter what you initially think when you hear social worker, there is more to the profession. Trust me. Stay locked in by subscribing to the channel, and be sure that you hit that notifications bell so you don't miss any new uploads. Without further ado, on to today's episode.
Welcome, Ram fam. No, your computer is not tricking you. I am not. I am not Tawana. No, but I'm guest hosting today. My name is Naylor Jr. and I am honored to be able to be your guest host this evening. As we introduce, well, you already know her, but as we interview Tawana, so we're going to bring her on stage in a minute, and we're going to talk a little bit about the military, and get to know her a little bit on the same level that she got to know a lot of us other veterans on. Okay, so um, here we go. Without further ado, we're going to bring her to the stage. Good afternoon. Good evening. Good evening. Oh, that shirt looks familiar. I kind of recognize it. I kind of like it. I kind of like it a lot. We'll get back to that in a minute. We'll get back to the shirt in a minute. But
yeah, there's one dude I know. I frequent his online store. Yeah, I frequent it a lot. He made this shirt.
Hey, I'm sure he appreciates it a lot. Yeah. So we wanted to give you the opportunity that you gave us, right? A lot of us veterans to talk about our lives, our family, our military careers, all of that good stuff. So welcome to your show.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. And thank you for hosting.
No problem. No problem. So first thing we'll do is we'll get the icebreakers out the way. A good icebreaker is always good to have. So we're going to go ahead and knock those out real quick and see if we can learn a little bit more about you. Hold on just a second.
You look like you're having about the same amount of problems I be having.
Listen, I'm technologically a little technologically inept a little bit, so we gonna but we're gonna figure it out. I'm dinosaur adjacent, so we gonna figure it out.
You can't be all them nice videos you be making.
You know what? It's a cheat code to that. I'll let y'all know what that cheat code is if anybody would like to know. But they make it very user friendly, so people like me can't even mess it up. It's so easy a caveman could do it, or Rob. So easy Rob could do it. But let's see. I know I saved it. Presentations. Sorry for the delay, y'all. We're gonna get to it.
Look, it's all good. If they real fans, like they know this be happening.
That's how it goes. So it's not much of a difference in how it typically goes. Oh, that's good. So when I saved it, I thought I would be able to quickly and easily find it.
Exactly. And then you probably minimize some stuff, and now it's just gone.
Yeah. Okay. I'm almost through. Okay, there it is. Okay, but with my luck, oh, there it is. Okay, boom. Invalid file type. Okay. So I guess I didn't save it correctly. So what we'll do is we will do. I have some icebreakers all that's on the top of my mind because
All right, we
back when I
love.
was but back when I was at Langley, we did we used to do a thing, and we used to do icebreakers all the time. So there's a couple of them that I do still have on my mind. It won't be as long, but it'll be kind of quick, easy to the point. All right, and I think it's kind
Good.
of what you typically ask as far as icebreakers go, also. So let's do it like this. Okay, so pizza or hamburgers?
Mm. For just period or like at the house?
We'll say period.
Um, Hamburgers.
Hamburgers. Okay. Um, are you a fast food person?
Not as much anymore, but I can do it. We can do it.
Okay, how about this? Travel or stay home? Like
Oh,
Netflix. Like Netflix.
shoot. I want to travel. So if it could just be just me and Amir, let's do the travel.
Okay. Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. Is there any real quick? Is there anywhere that you like your desired location? Do you have a specific desired location or anywhere?
Anywhere because there's so many places I have not been. So
Really? Even being in the military? We'll
yeah.
get back to that. We'll get back to that. Okay. So we're gonna jump right into a couple other ones you asked, right? So like birth order. Where are you in the birth order?
So yeah, I've been thinking about this one. So I am my mother's only child,
What?
but I am my dad's second child.
Okay.
For a long time I was his baby though.
So your sibling,
Mm-hmm.
boy or girl?
The girls. I have two sisters.
Two sisters. Okay, cool. And you're the oldest of everybody.
No, I'm the second.
So you're the middle child.
Yep.
Essentially, you're the middle child.
Mm-hmm.
All right. How do you think that plays into? Because I don't know what the dynamic is, but how do you think that plays into who you are today?
Yes. So as I said, I've been thinking a lot about this
Okay.
because it goes into the complexity of the multiple roles that I see myself playing.
Okay.
So I am my mother's only child, right?
Right.
But I was raised with steps. I have stepbrother and stepsister, and I am the oldest of them. Um, but being my dad's baby for quite a while, I am 17 years older than my little sister. So I have qualities for sure of an only child.
Okay.
No matter what, I still have qualities of an only child, but qualities of an older child.
Okay. And I want you to keep talking. I'm gonna grab my charger real quick. I apologize. I didn't know my computer was gonna shut down this quick. But keep talking about the part.
Yeah, we know I can do a monologue. I can do a
Yeah.
monologue like nothing.
VR.
So how that plays into the complexities of the roles that I play, right? So only children and firstborns have independence, right? You're independent, you're a leader, and all these types of things. Those are qualities that definitely are within me. But only children being selfish, stubborn, all those types of things. Those definitely are qualities that I know that I possess. But being a person who likes to take care of others, that is within me. But I've never, yeah, I'm not the baby, so there's no qualities of being the baby
Right.
in me at
Right.
all.
So you play by yourself. You learn how to play by yourself very well, I would assume, right?
Yeah. Yeah, my aunts, my dads, my mom, my dad. Yeah,
Yeah.
they talk about me a lot. About you used to play by yourself and you be so loud having a whole conversation by yourself.
Hey, look, I can kind of relate, because for a long time, I know this is about you, but just I can relate. Um, I was the only child for a split second, right? And so I learned how to play very well by myself. I think that made me very independent, a very
Mhm.
independent person, sometimes to a fault.
Yeah, but
Uh,
I didn't want to share.
Yeah.
So I did learn, like I did not want to share. So
Okay.
when my stepsister came over on the weekends, right, of course my mom would force me to share. But
Mm.
then I would like braid my Barbie's hair up so
Uh,
that okay, since I have to let you play with it, I don't have to let you comb her hair and get it all tangled up.
oh,
So
that's
I found ways to maneuver around the rules that I'm being given
mm.
because you're not finna mess up. You're not finna mess this up.
You
Mm-mm.
found loopholes, huh?
Exactly.
All right. So, with that being said, so just we can segue into. So, tell us for those who don't know. I'm pretty sure you're the people who you know and who know you, right? But for those who don't know you, go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yes. So I was born in Alton, Illinois, which is directly across the bridge from St. Louis, Missouri. That's where all my family is there as well. But I am Kansas. That's all I know. Since probably like 3 years old. Half Junction City, Kansas, other half Manhattan, Kansas. And then my senior year in high school, we moved back to Alton, Illinois. So I'm Midwest all day. That's me.
So you say they're like Nelly and them.
That's right.
Man,
That's right. That's me.
that's crazy. So what is what is your job or yeah, what's your job? Or I'm
Now?
sorry, let me go
Yeah.
back. So since we're talking about the military, right? What was your job when you were in the military?
Yeah, so I was in the beginning. It was called the 3 Alpha 3AO Information Manager, and by the time I got out, it had moved to being called 3DO Knowledge Operations.
Okay.
So essentially, I was the person in the front office. So people who saw Veronica on, I'm just going to repeat what she said, but in my own words. So I was the person in the front office. I was the business. I was the face of every squadron. But I am a communications troop. I belong to the comm squadron. I learned how to set up everyone's email accounts. I learned how to create forms and publications. I learned the mail room. So everybody who delivered your mail, that's what I did, or at least that's what I had learned. Shoot, it was five. There's like 5 key areas. So forms and pubs, privacy, the Privacy Act, Freedom of Information Act, all of that. That's also a part of my job. Um, what else did we do? Forms and pubs, and there's one more, but it's because it was so much that we learned that you
Right.
may not do it.
Yeah.
And because when we were in the front office, we often did a lot of personnel jobs. That's not our job.
Oh
So
wow.
maintaining people's PIFs, what we call maintaining people's records, that's really not our job. So and maintaining people's leave requests and all of that,
Yeah.
that's not what I went to school to do,
Yeah.
but it's what I did sitting in the front office in people's squadrons.
So they kind of tossed y'all into that orderly room,
Yeah,
what do you call it, the CSS
right.
type situation.
Yeah.
Um, for the people who work that, I don't want to say that sucks, but being a calm person, I'm pretty sure that wasn't the best cards to be dealt, right? Like you didn't want to do that at all.
To
The CSS stuff, the
CSS.
maintaining, or
Well,
did
I
you like
don't know. I don't know because look, I didn't know what I wanted.
it?
I
Well,
didn't know
yeah.
what I wanted.
Okay.
I didn't know. I just know that like when I joined, my mom was like, "You're gonna go do something with computers."
Mm,
And when in basic or MEPS, wherever the heck it was, when we first saw that list of stuff, I
mhm.
just was like, something with computers. That's it. That's all I know. And that was it. Like it wasn't
Yeah.
like no real true description of anything. So information management sounded like something.
Right, something you can really use, right? So, like, how long did you serve?
12 years.
12 years, 12 illustrious, fun-filled years, right?
Yes.
Fun-filled years. Um, so what year did you separate or retire?
In 2010,
2010.
February 2010.
You know what's crazy? Like in my mind, 2010 wasn't that long ago, but in reality, or
Yeah.
actuality, yeah, you've been a lot has changed since you since you left the military.
Yes.
We'll say that. So what was your rank when you left?
Okay. So controversy. It's little just
It's
controversy.
not a cool thing,
So I still say that I got a less than E5, but because that's what I had on my sleeve.
right?
But I earned E6. I tested E6. I had a line number for E6, and my line number came up E6.
Okay.
So to respect and honor even the respect that my husband has for it, I'm gonna say that I was an E6 when I got out.
As you should. You earned it.
Yes. So we will probably get to that when we get to other questions about that
Okay.
whole ordeal.
Okay. Well, like I said, that's what the people came for. No, I'm just joking. But yeah, like you said, we'll get back to that. So do you have any family members that served in the military?
Yes. So of course, yeah, my husband.
Right.
But those who came before me, my dad served in the Navy. My mom's twin served in the Army, and one of my aunts was in the Army. I think I have an uncle. That's still unclear. I'm not sure. You know how people say stuff, and then because they didn't say it, like you don't
Yeah.
know.
Uh-huh.
Think one of my uncles was in the Army too.
Okay. So what I gather from everything you just said, you were the only one that made a good decision.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Um, so what made you so everybody joins for their own reason, right? Everybody, some people want to go fly fight and win. Some people want just to change their lives, some people go for school. uh,
Hmm.
I don't think any of us really join for the money, but maybe the benefits, but not the money. So what was it that made you decide to join?
Yeah. For a while, I had said I was gonna stop saying this and come up with another answer, but since I'm about everyone being transparent and telling their story.
Mhm.
My mom made me come in. My mom told me, "You're gonna join the military. You're gonna get out my house." So when we moved back to Illinois, we was only there for like a few weeks or so, and she took me to the recruiter's office. That's
That-
that's it. That's short and sweet.
what
I
age?
don't know why,
What age?
but what age? I was 17. I was
17.
17.
Okay, so
17. But
straight out of high school.
when I look back, it's like it's not bad. It's not even like I didn't have time to think about what I was gonna do,
Mhm.
but I probably would not have thought of anything to do. So
Right. So mom made a good decision looking back at it.
exactly.
Okay. Yeah, okay. We're kind of in that situation right now with the oldest in the house. Of course, we have one that's already in. He's enjoying living life, living his best life. And then the next one, he is in your shoes right now, so he will be going
Yeah. You-
because, like you said, he's not. There's nothing, no other thought, but he'll thank us one day. I'm sure of it.
yeah.
Uh, let's see. So that's what made you decide to join. Mom made the decision for you. Shout out, mom. Uh, so was well, obviously you just answered that the Air Force wasn't your first choice, or did she just say military and you thought of Air Force?
No, she straight up took me to our recruiting office in Alton. All of the branches are there.
Hmm.
So yeah, she took me straight to the Air Force office.
Okay,
To the Air
so
Force office.
so that makes me feel better about what I said. Of course, I was joking but serious earlier when I said you were the only one that made a good decision. But
Yeah.
clearly, she knew that the better decision was the Air Force. So
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah. Yeah. And when was it that day? It was probably that same day because I don't remember her going too many times. So on the way out, the army recruiter was trying to talk to us, and she was like, "My daughter ain't going to the Air Force. She's too smart for that." I was like, "God, dog."
Okay,
Yeah, mom's a savage. Yeah,
I see. All right, so then for us, for all of us that have joined, been in, whatever, we know everybody has their story about what the night was like before going in. The whole MEP story, all of that stuff. So what was? Tell us what your experience was like the night before and the day you left for basic.
yeah. I don't know why I ask people this question because I don't even remember myself. So I do not remember. Um, I don't remember. I know I had a party. I
Okay.
do. I remember that I had a party. So my party, of course, was like off the chain. My party was off the chain. Um, I remember that I believe my mom took me to the recruiter the next day,
Okay.
and I only remember that my wisdom teeth started growing in,
Mm-hmm.
and I was telling the recruiter that my mouth hurt. That's it. I don't remember nothing else. I don't remember being taken to MEPS. I don't remember nothing else. But arriving to basic training, I remember it was dark.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if it was actually nighttime. I don't remember if it was early in the morning. I don't remember none of that. But I remember I looked like a doggone fool because I had all these extra bags. My mom packed me up like I was going on a
Oh,
vacation.
you thought you
I
were
had
going to Turks and
so
Caicos. Okay.
Yes, I
I
have
got
so many bags. The recruiters was yelling at me. I'm getting off the bus with all these bags. They yelling because I can't hold my bags, and just like everybody else.
Yeah.
Pick up your bags, sir. And I'm just like
You been dropping, yeah.
looking like a fool. But their yelling
Mm-hmm.
didn't bother me
Mm-hmm.
because I was raised being yelled at. It was just the fact that I could not carry my bags. I just felt like a fool.
Right.
And that's all I remember.
That's all.
That's
Well,
all I remember.
that's a
She was
fond
a short
memory.
lady too. And I'm thinking in my head, like, oh, short doggone lady, she yelling at me. So then of course, then another TI comes and joins her, a tall man.
Yeah.
And that's all I remember.
They came and got y'all on the bus, right? Like, hurry
Hmm.
up.
Yep.
And then when you hurry up, they tell you slow down. Then when you slow down, they tell you hurry up. Yeah. We all had that story. And like you, like, it was dark. I remember it was dark. By the time I think we got to our room or our dorm, it had to be like 2 o'clock in the morning or something like that. It's all a blur, probably to everybody else too.
Very much a blur.
Yeah. So your first, so I know my first night in boot camp or basic training was probably similar to somebody who just got to jail for the first night, right? Like, so I was laying there thinking or rethinking my thought of why am I here? Because it just seems so, you outside of your comfort zone. So I know for a good 24 to 72 hours, I was rethinking my thoughts. What was your experience like when you first got to basic?
That's really the I like why I ask you these questions, but
You don't remember?
yeah,
No.
because it's really like maybe other people really remember,
Mhm.
but that truly really is all I remember. It's the only thing that stuck out to me is why did my mama pack all these bags? She must really don't know what this is about. Cause I look like a fool with all these bags, and this woman and this man is there yelling at me.
Now, I kind of it kind of seems like, not gonna say, allegedly, that might have been a setup because mom, you said she was in the army, right?
No, not my mom.
Oh,
Her
she
twin.
never was in the military. Okay, cool. Okay, so
Right.
I thought she had been there and she knew, so she was like, you know what, this is
Mhm.
funny. I'm gonna send you with all these bags. Um, I might do that to my son actually. But hey, you need all of these, man. But anyway, so you can't remember those moments, but tell us. about a couple of key moments through your career and your experience. Tell us a little bit about your career and your experience.
Okay. So we start in my 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay.
And if it's not 15 minutes, it's not 15 minutes. I mean,
Okay, hold on, let me do my math.
You know how you run your show.
All right. Okay, so my first base was at Warner Robins, Georgia. I chose Georgia specifically, again, because being a Midwest girl, I actually had an aunt in Georgia. So I was trying to be down there. It was either Tennessee or Georgia because I was trying to go where I had two aunts who I did not know that well. So I was trying to get as close as possible to them. I did put overseas on my dream sheet, but I was a little scared, and I did kind of let the family kind of get in my head about going overseas, and I kind of like thought maybe I was gonna die or whatever. But I did still put overseas on my list, but I put Georgia because I was trying to go over there and get to know my aunt a little bit. So I was in Warner Robins, Georgia, as my first base. I was assigned to the 78th Communication Squadron. Luckily, started off in the comm squadron. There, I was assigned in the orderly room, but it was all good because I'm in the comm squadron. So this is where I learned a lot about our career field. It was just me and a personnelist. A personnelist was my supervisor. And just to kind of like expand to make sure I get 15 minutes, I appreciate her because she was a Black woman. Took good care of me. But my job there, regardless, I was over the sponsorship program, meaning as other 3AOs was assigned to the squadron, I was responsible for sending them the packages and assigning them to the squadrons throughout Robins. So hold on, let me think. So other 3AOs, I kind of like knew that they were coming. So I knew what squadron they were going to be assigned to. And then some of the airmen, as they were assigned to the comm squadron, I was like one of the first airmen that they met. So that's how I got to know like a lot of people. That was fun. I got a lot of accolades. I was taken really good care of in that squadron. So all of those duties that I told you that I learned and was responsible for, I learned all of them except for the computer part, setting up accounts, all of that stuff. I did not, because being in the comm squadron, there was a whole network control center. They did all of that. So all the people who are 3Cs, blah, 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 they did all of that. But I was in charge of sorting the mail for our squadron. So I got really good with sorting mail within the squadron. Then I had a 90-day rotation on honor guard. That's where I met my husband while I was on honor guard. Got a great appreciation for honor guard there. When you're on honor guard, you get BAS. So I got a little bit extra money in my pocket. Then I also went to the F-15 SPO. There I worked with information management. No. Augmentees. I forgot what it stands for. IMAs, but something augmentees. These were reservists who were at the base. So I got to learn a lot more about augmentees, people who were in reserves. So they were like way older than me. I'm 18, 19 years old, and I'm like learning about older people and what it's like to be in the reserves. But also my responsibilities there was to be over setting up the telephones. So over this whole area, I'm in charge of setting up the telephone accounts, being the facility manager for my section, and probably one more thing. But there were a lot more civilians over there. So I got to learn what it's like to work with civilians there. Okay. Then from there, and this is also where me and Amir get married. We get married in Georgia. Then we PCS to Whiteman Air Force Base, Missouri. There, this is where our kids are born. In Missouri, I'm stationed at CE. And then CE, of course, I'm in the orderly room. And I learned a lot about CE. Oh my God. And me and Amir have a running joke because I say everybody looks like a firefighter. Because like everybody in CE, they're so big. But I learned a lot about CE, and I mean, oh my gosh, so there's so much that I learned about electricians, about the snow plows. Like, I'm sorry, y'all, that I'm probably not doing y'all really proud right now, but everybody in CE, and a base does not function without CE. Like, for real, they don't run that without comms. Like, for real, like we run the base. We run the base. But what I learned in CE is crazy. It's crazy. When I learned about EOD, bomb ordnance guys, like, it's madness. Yeah. But when I got to do the tours with the firefighters, and man, it's crazy. This is crazy. But yeah, so I got so much appreciation for CE when I was there. And so when you see Amber's interview, like, go back and watch Amber's interview about and learn more about CE and customer service and CE. And just talk a little bit more about that. We'll come back if there's more time on that. Oh, I'm about to run out of time. God dog. Okay.
Hey, Alexander Lee says you was putting in work. So
yeah. But also while I was at Whiteman, so I was at CE, and then I was also part-time. I was at security forces as well. I was augmented off to them, running parts of their orderly room because I was also over records management. So I was in like 2 squadrons for a portion of the time because I was doing such a good job. Like, I was the bomb. Like, I was still doing so good. So I learned a lot more about security forces as well at Whiteman. Then I asked to be sent to the comm squadron and run BITS, which is the mail room. That's over the whole base. I requested to go there just because I was like, I don't know enough. And I knew that there was a spot open because that guy was PCSing. So I went to the mail room. I was the NCOIC of the mail room. Then from Whiteman, then that's when we go to Pope Air Force Base in North Carolina. That's when I am in LRS. I'm in the orderly room of LRS. This is where I meet you. And I learned so much more about LRS. Oh my God. And I learned all about setting up bases, what LRS does about setting up bases. Oh my God, it's crazy too. And I worked in readiness. Yeah, I was in the orderly room in LRS. Then I was an admin in the readiness flight. Then I was also the admin in vehicle maintenance and vehicle ops. I was the admin for both of them at the same time. Then I went back to the orderly room. So I was like all over in LRS. And then that's where I got out of the Air Force at Pope Air Force Base. There's so much I could say about what I learned in those places, but I got out at Pope Air Force Base because I made E6 and they had the NCO retraining program, and simultaneously what was happening is so there was the part of signing the NCO retraining program. One of the things was that you had elect to get out early. You can elect to retrain or elect to get out at the end of your term. So I was like, I'm going to elect to get out at the end of my term, which was in 2 years. Also, Pope was supposed to close in 2 years because of BRAC, base realignment and closure. Taking a risk of hope closing in 2 years, I was like, okay, those 2 years, they line up together, it'll close, I'll get out. And my husband was assigned to Fort Bragg. So it's not gonna really affect him. At this time, we had 2 young sons. So I said 2010. So our sons were, David was born in 2004. So our, what's that? That's 6 and 4. Yeah, our sons were. Is that right? That's math, right?
If it's not, people could just use their calculator and do the little.
Yeah, they were 6 and 4, or about to be 6 and 4 at that time. However, his deployments have picked up. He had been deployed so much at this time. So I figured what was the best and right for our family was for me to go on ahead and get out.
Yeah.
But by 2010, Hope did not close. It was still there. But that's
the military way. We're gonna tell you it's gonna happen, but it might not happen.
Yeah, and I did not want to become a cop. You know, because we all think. We all think that when they tell you what you're gonna do, I did not want to become a cop.
Yeah.
Okay. I did not want to become an air traffic controller, because those were the career fields that were minimally manned, and my career field was overly manned. It was so many people in my career field, but also, so as I said, it started off as 3AO and it was turning into a 3DO. And so you can choose to stay on the office side, which was what I wanted, or you can choose to go more of the computer and cyber side, which I really did not want to do. Of course, that's where the money is, but I really did not want to do that. And as you know, they were also removing people from squadrons. They took the personnelists out and to put them back in MSS. And then with us, the 3DOs, they were removing them and putting them back up in groups and in the comm squadron. So it's like, well, what should I do? And it was like, well, since Pope is closing, I'll just go on ahead and get out. And
you roll the dice. And so do you think that if BRAC never happened, that you would have stayed for 20 or more years?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Because I kind of feel like, especially with you doing all the moving, that's kind of, you would have a, what they call it, like a broad knowledge of what everybody does on base almost, right? So like you almost like a base commander at a certain point. But I think you would have made it pretty far, probably right up there with Amir,
Yeah.
Do you regret it at all, or no? Are you solid in your decision to,
Yeah, I don't regret it. No.
Okay, good. All right. So you spoke on it earlier. You said your kids were born in 2004. We also got our calculators to do the math on how old they were. So you are a parent. How do you feel it was for you being a parent while in the military, especially with young kids?
So it wasn't difficult because I never deployed. I also never went TDY until I went to 7-level school. Mm-hmm. So the parenting aspect wasn't really that hard. The only thing that really, yeah, I kind of really had it easy, parent wise, because once when David was born, I was in the comm squadron. Yeah, when both of them was born, I was in the comm squadron. I think that's not true.
Well, let me ask you this. So I know you like that. So you never deployed. Um, so were you present for their births? No, I'm just kidding. So I know you usually ask the guys that. So was Amir with him being at Fort Bragg and stuff like that? Was he present?
Yeah, Amir was present for both. He was present for both births, but he did deploy for the first time when
Okay.
David was 4 months old.
Okay. I just asked that just to, because you typically ask the guys, who were present
Hmm.
for. And so on the flip side of that, we want to kind of people probably curious of how it affects the the mother, right? Like with the
Hmm.
with the father being gone. Um, so with him being gone, how did that? Oh, you say he was there.
He was there, but when David was 4 months,
He deployed.
that's when he deployed for the
So
first
how
time.
was that? How was that for you being, that they were young and he was gone?
That
How was
yeah. So I'm trying to remember where I was so I can get my story right. So I
that?
think I think I was in CE. It doesn't matter really. It doesn't really matter where I was because we had the wingman warrior program.
Uh-huh.
So David was 4 months old. And so I teased five what?
Oh no, David said every time his name is dropped, you got to pay him $5 commission. So
Oh,
I was
please.
just keeping tally for him.
Oh, you know what? So you know what you're supposed to do because I can't see them. What you're supposed to do is you're supposed to hit like show. When the comment, you got to click show and show the comment
Oh, so you can
on
see him?
yeah, and other people can see the
Oh, so he told you I'm a dinosaur. How do you, or
yeah.
dinosaur adjacent? How do you do it for all of them though? Because I could do it for
Yeah,
individuals.
all of them is like hover over it and then click show.
Okay, I got
Yeah. So my son, my oldest son, he was like 4 months old. And Amir was literally like he had to come back to the house for something, and he was about to walk back out the door. Um, he said, "Never deployed at Rollins." Is that what he said?
you. Oh, it shows on the whole screen. Okay.
Yeah. Did Amir say never deployed at Robbins?
Yeah, let me go back. There we go. Oh, he said, hold on. Yeah, he said he was never deployed at Robbins. He never deployed at Robbins. Oh no, he said he deployed at Robbins. He said nope, deployed at Robbins. So he deployed at
Yeah, he
Robbins, not at
did. He did, but we ain't had kids.
yeah.
So yeah.
Okay.
Um, yeah, so Amir deployed at Robbins, and it was a little tough on our relationship, and we were dating, but we didn't have kids. Um, so
Well, hold on.
he
What was your kids' names again? Can you name all of them?
that kid that's on the screen and Alexander.
Oh, I tried
Um,
David. Oh man, that's
so
all hurt.
so he came back to the house, and he was literally like finna leave again. He was leaving. He was heading out, and he got up on his arms and legs and was like trying to crawl. Like he was like showing his dad like you're not about to leave before I crawl. He didn't crawl, but so while Amir was gone, I literally just like I relied on the squadron. So that's who helped me every single time. Oh, that's who helped me every time Amir was gone is the squadron. And so when I look at, and every time I look at like other civilians, they either go home to their families or their families come to them. I don't have that experience. I don't have that story to share.
Yeah.
However, while my mama dropping in right now, but what I do have, I did that young mother move. I took my son with me to the oven. So this might be a trigger warning for other people. I don't know, but I'm gonna say it. So I took my son with me to the oven and I was cooking and he stuck his hand in and he burnt his hand. So this was a time where I did have help from my family. So it came to be just like a little too much. So of course, all of the things, it call 911 and all that, and go to the ER, and all of that, burn unit and all this. Then sometime later, my clumsy self fall. I'll fall. And my troop is helping take care of me for a little bit because I can't even go back to work. Like I'm on the porch laid out. I have to call my troop. And I'm like, bro, you gotta come get me. He takes me to the clinic, and I'm out for like a while. So I call my family. My family comes and they come and get my son. So they come and take care of him for a little bit, and then after a minute, then now I have to go home. Go to Illinois, and they take care of me and my son. But other than that, yeah, I'm relying heavily on the squadrons every time.
Okay, so it sounds very adventurous, right?
That's
A
me.
lot of life lessons learned. But so how did the military shape your idea or affect your idea of parenting?
That we rely on each other and do not be afraid to ask for help. So it's the same as other spouses stories, is that when you're seeing the neighbor move in, we just like, if you don't automatically connect, you still like bond with that person.
Okay.
You see that they have a kid, you have a kid. It's like it's an automatic like connection, especially when you're on joint basis.
Right.
Too. It's like, oh, a little kid. Oh, this person got a dog. You got a dog. Oh, you Air Force. It's like
it's a family atmosphere. Family. Yeah. All right. So, how would you say? Because I know a lot of people that do, a lot of time retire. They don't get to spend a lot of time with their kids. I know for me, that's a lot of, my thing, like deploying a lot, not being around the kids. You said you got out at 12, but still military is military. So how would you say your relationship with your kids is? I mean, I guess now, and how did the military affect it at all? How's your relationship with your kids?
I don't know if the military affected, because it seemed like my first two, especially that first one, it's like they don't even like remember I was even in.
Oh, it was that long ago.
Hopefully, when you interview them, we will know, because it's like dad gets all the accolades or so. It's like they don't even remember I was in.
And you said who was it that doesn't remember?
The first two.
What's their names? I tried.
I ain't paying nobody nothing, but yeah, like David and Alex.
Oh, yeah, 30, bro. All right. So we kind of touched on the family separations and stuff like that, and how you dealt with that, right? You had, a little bit. You had help. Was there a time in the military that you can remember that you had to really like overcome adversity? I know we face a lot of adversity, but anything that sticks out?
Yes, there are two. I'm trying to remember. Dang it. Okay, yeah. So two. So the rank thing. I'll write that down because I don't want to forget. 2 words in, and I don't need to hear the rest of the story.
I guess you're talking about the last story you just told.
So the rank thing. The first one is early on in my career. So I know my follow-up question is, does rank have anything to do with it? So the second one definitely race has nothing to do with the second one. The first one, maybe, and you all can be the judge. I just thought about this like last week. So early on, I was not an NCO. I wasn't an NCO yet, but this is the very first troop that I had. So as I said, I feel like I was taken very good care of as an airman. So yes, I was in CE, and my first sergeant, who at least his skin was white, I don't know if he was, but white men, right? So we were very big on competition, just like, oh my God, like particularly with promotion ceremonies, right? Like, I mean, we were seemed to be like so close knit, like everybody, competition. Don't really have too much to do with the story, but it do. So my first sergeant had said a thing to me. So his skin was white. My commander was black. Mm-hmm. And it's me. We had a white secretary. We had a white security manager. And then there was a white NCO, IC. Mm-hmm. I believe I was still a senior airman. I had an airman. His skin was black. Mm-hmm. He's older than me. So my first, he was having some issues. He was having issues. I don't quite remember exactly what his issues were, but some of them included being late to work. Mm-hmm. My first sergeant called me into his office, and he was telling me, he said, something. Haitians don't like black women, and some other stuff. I don't remember, but I thought that I could just go ask the secretary and the security manager, because I'm thinking as a security manager, you know a lot about people because that's your job. I was like, what do you know about Haitian people? Like, what do you know? I said, because I may have said, because the first sergeant told me. I don't know if I said that, but I just said, what do you know about Haitian people? This dude pulled an EEO complaint on me and said because I was questioning his ethnicity. Mm. So how you know that I said that? You only know that I said that because the freaking secretary and security manager told you. Now me, again, I'm from Kansas. Like, I'm like comfortable with white people. So I'm thinking that I can ask you, and because you're older than me, like these are older white women. I'm not thinking like they're doing me any harm. Mm-hmm. Of course, later in life, when I meet my Southern husband, and he's talking about how they're like undercover with their racism and stuff. Like, I'm not thinking about that. I'm just thinking you're older than me. I can talk to you. You have this wisdom. You're the security manager. Right. So I'm asking you a question that I think is legit. Y'all talk about this dude every day. Y'all talk about how late he is. Y'all talking about the dude behind his back. I'm asking y'all because the first sergeant told me this. Mm-hmm. So yeah, so he files an EEO complaint against me, whatever. Like, nothing happened to me. Of course they do their thing. They do the investigation, blah, 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 blah. Still got to kind of work with the dude. But then he gets moved. He gets moved to another office. But it's just the fact that the dude filed the freaking complaint against me. And then later, I got to work with him again. Because when I get moved to the computer office, he's in the computer office. Mm. I'm not over him. We both work for the civilian. Mm-hmm. But I don't work with you. I don't like that
Because I'm gonna look at you every day, knowing that you did what you did, and now, of course, now he's asking me questions, and like, no, I don't.
You like, I didn't forget.
Yeah, so there's that. The second thing is the rank thing.
Mm-hmm.
So, as I said, I made E6. And you were there. So as the time comes in and my line number is coming up.
Mm-hmm.
And then my husband's name, so you know that they do the announcements and all that of who's supposed to be in the promotion ceremony.
Mm-hmm.
And being that my husband is assigned to Fort Bragg, I'm like, why is his name on the list and my name isn't on the list? Like, what's this about? So
Yeah.
I go to the chief, and there's like a slight investigation, whatever. And then they put me in the promotion ceremony.
Mm-hmm.
So you know how the promotion ceremony goes, how it went. I'm in the promotion ceremony, you know, LRS, we celebrate, and it's like a whole big old to do and everything. Come to find out, because of the NCO retraining, they're like, you wasn't never supposed to. No, it wasn't immediate. So you know I had it on. I'm wearing E6. So 2 months later, I'm not getting no E6 pay.
Yeah.
So
I already know where you're going with this. Yep. Go ahead.
Yeah. So I come back to Chief in the first sergeant, and them. I'm like, I didn't get no pay. So Chief go to find out, and they're like, yeah, she don't get E6 because she signed the stuff. So whatever, Chief kind of sort of fighting for me. The first sergeant and the commander, they like fighting for me. They like, no, we didn't understand that that's what that meant. Like, no, she need to get that because she already tested and blah blah blah. So yeah, they're like, nah, she was never supposed to get it. So now I'm all walking around embarrassed, looking like I done got demoted. Now my uniform got E5 on it now.
Yeah.
Like, that's mad embarrassing.
Right.
But yeah, I just feel like that was something. So yeah, race had nothing to do with it. It's just that the stuff was not clear. Only for the next cycle of the in court, they made it perfectly clear that even if you already tested, you cannot sew on.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing that I had to bear for the next 2 years was that someone was brought into the orderly room who does not do my job. Someone who's not a personnelist, someone who's not an information manager came in to be the NCOIC of the orderly room simply because they are an E6. That was very, it was more than embarrassing. It was insulting.
Yeah.
And it was a person that like they just didn't want. Like, it was a trash person from their shop that you brought in to control my section.
Yeah. So with those experiences, right? Obviously they were kind of like, I mean, it was adversity you overcame. They suck, right? But do you think that they shaped the person you are today?
Yeah, it definitely has to. Yeah.
Yeah, because
you see, I still speak with the passion.
You have a lot of passion.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Hopefully, the person that they brought in don't ever watch this. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, you have a passion for what happened, and that's okay. So, would you say that the military prepared you? Clearly, it did. Did it prepare you for where you are and who you are today?
Yes, and I definitely have come to understand that it brought it all together. Mm-hmm. Like, the more I talk to my aunts and they describe little me, I did not know. Like it's just bringing it all together. The
To the
fight
girl that didn't
that
want to share her doll.
huh?
To the girl that didn't want to share her doll or let nobody comb her doll hair.
No,
No.
yeah, I knew that. No, my aunt told me. So a couple of my aunts, but my aunt told me that there was some issue with the neighbor, and I'm like in the fourth grade. There's an issue with the neighbor, and the way that like I handled the situation, where it was like I said it was like a way I came up with a compromise that even like she didn't think of. Then her and my other aunts, they tell me about me trying to fight somebody, but they always talk about like how I don't start the fight, but I always grab a weapon. I know that about me. I know that.
Mm-hmm.
I am the defender. I don't like people picking on people. That is, I hate that with the passion. Do not mess with the underdog, and definitely do not mess with my family.
Oh yeah,
I
you
do
the
not
bully.
like
You the bully for the bullies.
that. I do not like that. And so in social work, I am going to try to use every tool that is available and every little gray line, every little gray that I can find, as long as it's legal. You're gonna find it. And I might be a little too passionate.
I mean, I don't know if there's too passionate. It depends on who you ask. But I mean, when people are your purpose, it's okay to be passionate. So that's how I feel. So I would ask you if you had any words as far as encouraging people that may or may want to not want to join the military. Well, I'll ask you both. So we're gonna say words encouraging people to join the military, and then also words encouraging people to get into what it is that you do currently. So it's in social work.
Yeah. So of course I'm gonna say join the Air Force. Like if you want to join the military, join the Air Force.
Mm-hmm.
I guess there's nothing wrong with the Space Force, since the Space Force comes from the Air Force. And
I
they're
kind of
both
like their patch. Their patch is kind of hard. I like their patch though.
yeah.
Yeah.
I guess they're both gonna lead you into cyber.
Yeah.
Yeah, join the Air Force. But of course, join as an officer, because one, that's where the money is. But two, that's where the leadership is. So unless you are coming in with a specific plan,
Of
unless you are
course.
coming
Of
in,
course he says go Army. Of course he says go Army.
of course, but everybody ain't got what you got, Gus. Unless you come like I know a person, and they came in, they had a specific plan, and they came in, they did their 4 years, and they got out. So unless you're that person and you're not gonna let anything deter you from your plan, then of course you can come in enlisted. But
Right.
otherwise, yeah, don't do enlisted.
Yeah. I gotta put the
You asked me both questions at the same time, didn't you?
So the same question for social work, because I mean we could always use, good social workers out here, right, to advocate for people. So what could you say to encourage somebody who may be thinking about joining social work, or maybe somebody who's on the fence? What would you say
Yeah.
about social work? Yeah.
So social work is a very broad field. So just like information management was a broad field, social work is a very broad field. It is one of the social sciences. But if you like helping people, period, point blank, you like helping people, social work is where you should be. Because I think we have like 4 or 5 umbrellas. You can be in medical social work. You can be in politics and be in social work. You can do children and family services. You can do mental health. And I am sure there is another one, but because I don't do it, I don't remember it.
They can ask Siri.
I just had it. Geriatric.
Okay.
Geriatric. So yeah, those things is what would make us a good social worker. Now, if I'm going to break it down, I won't break it down. But I would highly encourage people to be social workers because there's, like I said, it's just very broad. And like I said, the point of my channel is to educate you on social work because we are not baby snatchers. So I do not want you to associate social work with a person who comes in to take your children from you. That's not what we do. There are people who are investigators, but those are people who don't know what they're doing, and they something up with them. Because as soon as somebody makes an allegation about you and you're not taking care of your kids, they still supposed to come in and they're supposed to investigate properly. They're not just supposed to come in and try to take your kids from you and call you unfit. So I'm not Children and Family Services, but that's somebody that's not doing their job correctly. Right. Plug for Children and Family Services. Mental health, as a therapist, it is my job to kind of help guide you into understanding yourself and your whole well-being to help you make the best decision for your life.
Nice. I like how you wrap that up and put a bow on it, because there's a lot of misconceptions about social workers. There's a lot of misconceptions about therapy and all of that stuff. So glad you said that. And you went from the Air Force, which requires self-care, right? You're in a career field now that requires self-care. What do you do for self-care, or what will you do for self-care if you don't already?
Yeah, so I have a therapist as well. I graduated to the point of where I just go once a month. Okay. I do work out. I'm not as consistent, so of course, I will be getting on my clients about that. But I work out, and with it being dark outside, I'm supplementing that sunlight with some vitamin D supplements. I am being in community. I'm being in community with people. What else am I doing? Well, I don't know how to answer my own question.
You just, at this point, I think people know, so people know of this channel, right? Yeah. But you want to share, for anybody that doesn't know, you want to share any of your social networks, social media networks?
So my channel, of course, it's RealRam T. Lee on YouTube. It's RealRam T. Lee on IG. I think that's what it is, right? No, it's just RealRam on IG. Illa Redbird on TikTok. It might be backwards. I don't know my own social media. I don't know.
It's okay. You dinosaur adjacent like me. It's all good.
Yeah. Because I'm not consistent with using it. Yeah. I got TikTok, I got IG, and then the public Facebook is RealRam T. Lee on YouTube. That's what it's called.
You know what though?
I buy candles and everything from Rob Naylor Jr.
Well, I was gonna say that. So, I was waiting on the segue. I appreciate that. So
I take bubble baths and candles.
Look, it was robnaylorjr.com. Sorry. But when I did a rebranding kind of, so it's Relax. That's the name of the brand now, Relax. So the website is iwanttorelax.com. We have candles that you use. You know, we have body butters. They're all handmade, natural, all that stuff, because we put your health first. Care about you. So you can go to the other people if you want. You don't really care about your health like that. But we care that you smell good, hygiene is good, and you're healthy as well. So I want to relax.com.
You and this name changing.
I had to because okay, so real quick, I'm gonna say this real. So I went to the Black Association, Black. I'm messing the name up. I was a vendor at a big at an event, right? Black Chamber of Commerce. That's what it was. Black Chamber of Commerce, and I talked to a lot of fellow entrepreneurs, right? A lot of business owners. I like to pick people's brains. And even with me going back to school, like it all just made me think that I had to be more concise with what I wanted to do as a business and build it from there. I couldn't be too diverse. Like I had to pick my passion that I want to focus on and work on that. Because it is a lot. It's a lot to try to do a t-shirt business, aromatherapy business, and everything under the sun. Like it's hard to do that. So I had to focus and channel my energy toward what I care about more, which is aromatherapy. So that's where I'm at with it. I still do t-shirts for some people, you know, people who know if you in a special club, you know. But yeah, I still do t-shirts for people, but aromatherapy is my passion though.
Yeah. And most importantly, if people are looking for a therapist, the Black therapist in the DMV and Philadelphia, I don't know if it's the whole Pennsylvania or not, but definitely Philadelphia. The agency in which I work is For Us Therapeutics. So easy, For Us Therapeutics. That is the agency in which I work. So the entire DMV in Philadelphia.
Okay. Y'all make sure y'all go to all of them. And as we close out, I'm just gonna there's some things floating across this. Oh, this is one of the candles. Oh, would you look at that? Oh, no bad energy. I hope you don't mind me showing this, but no bad energy. And then we'll also have the air and body mist as well. One of the body butters. Oops, sorry. Trying to turn it to where it shows the label. Here we go.
Ultra Black?
Yeah. So this is a favorite right here. Everybody loves this. It smells really good. I have it on actually right now. You can use these together if you want to. If you really want to accentuate, you know, how you feel as a person. And I make my own labels and everything, except for some of them. I outsource them because I'm getting too busy. But yeah, so if you want to, like I said, shop holidays coming. I want to relax.com, make it very easy. We'll also do candle workshops, candle making workshops. Appreciate it, sir. I appreciate that. You know, it's almost like I wrote the question.
You gotta put the thing up.
Oh, my bad. I see it, but you don't. I'm learning. It's almost as if I wrote the questions myself. I did. Or I channeled.
You gonna make a Kwanzaa one?
A Kwanzaa candle?
Yes.
I can. I do requests. I do special requests. So I white label candles as well. So if people like I do for companies that want to, you know, hand out candles to their clients and customers.
You need to make a Kwanzaa one. At least the one for unity. You need to at least make that one.
Okay. Will do. But this has been fun. You know what? And like I said, I'm dinosaur adjacent, so don't judge me. We listen and we don't judge. That's the trend, right? So I don't see the outro on here.
It's over there.
This has been another episode of RealRam. Thank you for joining us, Ram fam. We like to always encourage you to go out and be the best version of yourself. Do you say that? Is that something you say? Is that
it works.
Okay, that was the outro because I can't find it. I don't see it. So, any parting words for the Ram fam?
Thank you, everybody, for watching. Look, I kind of remember it. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Do know that you were put here for a purpose. Only you can be you. Doesn't matter what your birth order is. I know that if you were coming to my house, I would be making you pancakes. So it doesn't matter if you like pancakes or waffles. Yeah, just keep striving. And you can't put the screen on me because that's it. Thank you for watching.
I had to because you was doing your outro. Okay, so peace, love, and light. Thank y'all for joining. Have a good night.
Peace.